Stand by for ludicrous speed.
Okay, my dear Greg Saunders.
Gregory.
Eagle looking great. Your go.
Greg Saunders.
Greg Saunders.
Greg Saunders.
Wow. Hey, great.
I got it.
We interrupt this sound file to bring you a terrifying announcement.
Are you aware that you're leaking coolant at an alarming rate?
Show us the skills that have made you a media darling.
Well, I'm glad we got all that out in the open.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Saturday Morning Stateline Show.
The posted speed limit is the legally accepted maximum limit, but the socially accepted minimum limit. Let's not forget that. I'm Greg. He's Tom. Saturday Morning Stateline Show.
No idea what you just said.
Oh, come on. You know it's true, Tom. You know it's true. If you're the one going the speed limit, you're the one going too slow.
Oh.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Or am I right?
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. It's especially true if you're going the speed limit and you're in the passing lane. Move your butt over. All right?
Oh, absolutely.
Come on.
Absolutely.
I think I verbally actually say out loud, and my wife and kids can probably attest to it. I'll actually say out loud, "Are you turning left or what?"
Yeah.
Because if you're not turning left here in the next two streets, move over. Get in the driving lane. Get in the cruising driving lane. Get out of the passing lane.
Well, that does irritate me. It's a courtesy on the road, and I'm real big on courtesies or people being discourteous on the road. Don't do it.
Yeah.
People that don't use their blinkers. That's the other one.
Yes.
Which really brings up an interesting point. You know, your top 3 pet peeves: people who tailgate, people who drive slow in the fast lane, and people who don't use their blinkers. Or what they'll do is they're coming up to something, and then all of a sudden you see the brake lights go on. You know, you can put your blinker on at 55 or 60, and it gives the person behind you a little bit of a warning that, okay, he's probably going to be putting his brake lights on. But all of a sudden the brake lights go on. If you've looked away for a half second, and we all do it, you know, you change the radio, you look over there to see that, that's that house. Yeah, I remember that house, you know. And it happens, and it just irritates me to no end.
Yeah. Be careful out there. Be careful out there. Hey, look at that. It's our
John Berlin.
John is on.
Hey, what's happening, guys?
You're in your car every week.
Hey, but I'm still in Illinois this time.
Well,
How are you? Is this a motorhome we're talking about here that you're in, or what?
No, it's not. It's a nice looking Toyota Highlander.
Okay. All right. Well, I see you driving. I can see the clouds in the sunroof moving.
Exactly. Is that bothering you, Tom? Do I need to close that for you?
Nope. Not at all.
I actually thought about getting one of those Toyota Highlanders. Is this something new for you, or how long have you had this?
I got this January last year after my Camry got totaled out.
Ah, okay. So you're enjoying this vehicle?
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Good deal. Well, you were worried about being late, and you're actually early when you think about it. So you're gonna get to hear this week's big number of the week, because we haven't done that yet. Our big number of the week this week is 21.6 billion. Big B billion. And 21.6 billion has something to do with counterfeit or compact discs. Counterfeit or compact discs. We'll give you the answer at the end of the show today.
It starts a new one, doesn't it?
It does start a new one, because last week Joann completed her race to 10. She was our winner, 10-9. What a finale. What a race to 10 that was. Just like the Sox Yankees game out in the Field of Dreams. Right to the end.
Huh.
Did we talk
Won
about
by
that
a
last week?
walk-off homer by Tim Anderson.
That was amazing.
I never did see the game. I couldn't tape it, and I was doing trivia, so.
Well, that's where highlights come in handy on the YouTube or whatever. It's worth watching that ninth inning again. It was It was a really great ninth inning.
Yep.
Totally worth it. A lot of stuff to go over today before we get to John, though, real quick. Want to do a couple quick shout outs. Congratulate the Wilcox family on the closing of their house in Malta this week. Been working with a couple of veterans lately. He's one of them. I actually, this guy, I want to say it was 5 years ago or 6 years ago. I wrote his contract for the very first house he bought. We wrote it and got it accepted on the 4th of July. And he's a veteran of the United States.
Yeah,
Army.
that's cool.
And since then he has gotten a better job, done really well for himself, and bought himself a great house out near DeKalb. And kudos to the Wilcox family on their new house. So happy for them. Had most of my real estate stories this week would unfortunately be kind of negative, guys, because I've had some a couple of bad appraisals. I shouldn't say bad, just low. They are what they are. And then one situation with an underwriter that wants something done that's kind of like, come on, really? So I do a lot more complaining this week than I probably need to do. It's been a great year. I don't want to. I've probably crapped more on lenders than anybody else this last year, and it's not our local lenders. It's the big bank lenders and the national lenders that, tell people they're approved for way more than they really are. And that's talk about a pet peeve in real estate. It's heartbreaking to have to tell somebody, especially a first-time home buyer, that no, the letter you got in the mail was unsolicited and it was full of bunk. I'm sorry, but no, you're not really approved for, $200,000. This is why you talk to the local lender who's actually going to run your credit.
The same category. Yeah. Goes in the same category as the publisher's clearinghouse thing, or the things you get that says you've been for a $56,000 loan, just deposit it in the bank and you're good. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, the fake checks and all that stuff. So anyway, that's we're gonna leave that there and leave it on the congratulations, Wilcox family. Very, very happy for you guys. Starlight Theater is doing their final show of the season this weekend and next weekend. Little Shop of Horrors is a lot of fun. And if you've ever seen the show, if you did the Starlight Theater shows at all this year, the very first show was Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. And they used this rotating stage. They created this really interesting platform. And so it would rotate. They're using that same thing for Little Shop of Horrors now for the last show. And you got to see it. It's really cool what they're doing with this rotating platform on the stage to stage their show. And of course, Little Shop of Horrors is a tragedy. It ends and everyone dies. So just so you know, spoiler alert, the plant eats everybody. But it's hilarious what happens to get there.
Feed me, Seymour.
Feed me, yes.
I don't know what happened. I went bye-bye for a minute or two.
I think your Wi-Fi connection or something probably gave you a little.
Oh, it must be awful today.
Something sputtered.
Been spotty all day.
One of the things I did this week too. Have you recycled a flat screen TV lately? Because it's not cheap. You can't just drop off. You know how you recycle some things? You just drop them off at the recycle center and they just take them. Thank you. We'll recycle this. Not the flat screen TVs. If you have a 19-inch or bigger flat screen TV, which that's what they all are, right? Pretty much. When those, I took it to the Keep Northern Illinois Beautiful Recycle Center on, was it Thursday, Friday? I forget which day I drove them by over there. No, it was Wednesday. The one in McChesney Park. They charge you $20 a piece for them to recycle them. Wow. I thought they get stuff out of those things and turn it into some money for themselves. But apparently there's not as much stuff in these flat screen TVs as there used to be in the tube TVs. And they have to charge for the service. So just a heads up there, if you got a TV that's dead, they're going to charge you to recycle that.
Yeah, Greg, they started charging for TVs about 2-3 years ago.
Okay.
That's why you see so many of them lying by the side of the road.
That's sad. That's sad. I mean, I don't know. The alternative is not junking them on the side of the road. Don't do that. That's a bad thing.
Well, that's what people do. Cover of darkness. They toss it out the back end of the car, and there it sits.
Trust me, I know. We get our share of dumping out where I live because we're kind of out in the country a little bit, and it happens about every other month or so. It seems like somebody dumps something out on one of our streets out here, which is really annoying.
Yeah,
I had to call the sheriff last month because someone dumped a large amount of garbage. Literally just garbage on the side of the street. It wasn't TVs or tires or anything like that. It was just garbage. It's like,
if you get a camera, like a Ring camera, doorbell cam or whatever, and put it somewhere on your property to where it shows the dumping site, it might help. You might get a license plate.
I wanted to petition the sheriff's office because there's a sign on one of our side streets here that says, I think it says $500 fine for dumping. I wanted to put an additional sign below that said something like dumpers will be shot on site.
Ooh,
if that helps.
There you go.
Yeah.
It might be illegal, but it's worth a shot. Pun intended.
I don't know. Just a thought, because somehow, some way, you got to deter these crimes, and that's one way to do it, I guess.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to shout out today before we get to John is, and I promoted INCROWD at this event yesterday. A Rockford linked lunch has been back now for a couple of months. If you're looking for a sit-down lunch networking opportunity, we typically meet the second Friday of every month at the Machine Shed. And basically, if you're on LinkedIn, there is a Rockford linked group that's about 5,000 strong, if I remember right. It might be even way more than that. But when we started these Rockford linked lunches, at one point they grew to the point where there was 30, 40 people coming every week. And then it kind of shrunk down and things changed. And of course, COVID all put the stop to that for a while. We're back to meeting again. There was, I believe, 9 of us at the lunch yesterday, which was bumped a week for our leadership reasons, needed to bump it a week. But the plan is to meet again in September, second Friday of the month at the Machine Shed. So if you're looking for a place to network, if you're an entrepreneur, business owner, professional, and would like to connect with other professionals, this is a more sit down, a little more formal networking group. I would say similar to a BNI group, but not a paid membership. And we don't care if there's, 2 financial guys or 2 realtors or 2, networking or marketing people. It's open to anyone. We're just basically looking for people who would be on LinkedIn and have business in Rockford. So promoted INCROWD there. I'm expecting to see a couple of new faces at INCROWD this Thursday because of this group. And John, we're going back to Belvedere, right?
We are definitely going back to Belvedere, and I'm excited about it. It's Joe Bartz at Duraclean does a phenomenal job when it comes to networking and putting on a show. Joe and I were kind of joking about it a couple of weeks ago. His first one he hosted was in February, and February is notoriously our slowest month. And if we would get 20, 25 people, I was elated. We had pushing 80 people at his event. And, I've told everybody I should take a lesson from it, because he didn't rely just on our Facebook page, and he didn't rely just on this show. He actually reached out to the Belvedere Chamber, the different networking groups, the business owners he knew and everything. And, I met some people that I'd never even knew of until that day. So Joe does a great event, and, it goes back, to somebody asked me the other day down in Davis Junction, what is INCROWD? Hey, we're the largest free networking group in the Rockford region, and Rockford region encompasses a big area. So, so looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to this one.
I'm seeing his address as 1989 Belford North Drive, Belvedere, which is basically just west of Belvedere, out there in the industrial area.
Yep.
And like John said, we've been there before, had a really awesome turnout. Great chance to mix and mingle with folks who are in business, a lot of different businesses. You'll meet people and sometimes in the strangest businesses, you're like, really, that's a business. You got to come and meet people and find out what they do. I know one of the gals that we expect to see this Thursday is in reflexology. You ever have your feet worked on to try to relax your muscles and your organs so that they heal themselves better? This gal knows what to do, and she'll tell you all about it. Chiropractors, other doctors, just all kinds of different businesses represented. So Belvedere, Duraclean is the place this Thursday. And yeah, with the way that this guy promotes this event, we're expecting to see probably more than a couple dozen people.
Oh, definitely. And, and it was funny too, because Joe does a theme for every event he ever does in his shop. And so it's going to be interesting to see what he does once we all get there.
We've got the event posted on our Saturday Morning Stateline Show Facebook page. You don't have to respond there. It's nice if you do, but you don't have to. Still show up 5:30 on Thursday at the Duraclean in Belvedere. Anything else you guys you want to plug this month, John?
I think the big thing is don't let COVID be a concern to you. I mean, it's a concern, don't get me wrong, but the question came up again, are we requiring masks? And that's your choice. It really is. You feel free to do what you want to do. I think the big thing that we all need to look at is we survived through it, and we're going to continue to survive through things. And businesses need us as much as we need them. And small businesses are the lifeline of everything. So definitely come on out, help support small businesses. I try to put something up on one of our Facebook pages on Saturdays about Support Small Business Saturday. To me, it's not just one day of the month, it's every day, so without us, the small business owners, there is no survival going on. And so I look forward to what we do, and I enjoy what we do. And you're going to see some changes to INCROWD coming here soon with some new people and some other people helping out move the direction of INCROWD to bigger and better than what we've already got. So, definitely looking forward to that too.
Awesome. I appreciate you bringing that up too, because I listened to another YouTube video yesterday of a doctor who's just reminding people, these viruses, you can't eradicate them. They are what they are. They're going to keep mutating and morphing, and they're going to keep doing what they do. Protect yourself as best you can. He wasn't necessarily against the vaccination as much as he was wanting to make sure people understood the vaccination, what it does and what it can't do. Because there's a lot of misinformation out there, a lot of assumptions that by getting vaccinated, you're killing the virus. And no, you're not. That's not how it works. So know where you're getting your information from and understand the risks involved. And yeah, if you're still not ready to be out in public, if you really feel vulnerable, stay home. But those that want to keep meeting, and those of us in the INCROWD that'll be meeting this Thursday are looking forward to meeting some new people. And masked or unmasked, that's up to you. Looking forward to meeting a lot of folks at the INCROWD on Thursday. So anywho, I appreciate your time as always, John. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you on Thursday.
Sounds great. I appreciate everything you guys do for us too. It's a tremendous thing that you guys do, not only for the INCROWD, but all the other organizations and for the community. You guys do a phenomenal job.
Our pleasure, buddy. Our pleasure.
Thank you, John. Have a good day. Drive careful.
You too, Tom.
All right.
Thanks. Appreciate it, guys.
Share away. We've got the YouTube. Once we're done with our show, the YouTube video of the show is pretty much nearly instantly ready to go, ready to be shared. So feel free to share it on your social platforms. And you've maybe have noticed that when I share our links and stuff on the social media platforms, I try to put a list of things mentioned in the show. And it's interesting how many of those people and those companies will actually respond or like or reshare our show again, and where the show goes. So if you're listening or watching the show for the first time from somewhere other than Rockford, Illinois, we'd sure love to hear from you. Where are you at and what you up to, and what's what brought you here to the Saturday morning Stateline show? Obviously, our focus is on the Illinois-Wisconsin state line border area of Rockford, but we share a lot of different information across the U.S. and hopefully you're enjoying it. Any other shout outs today before we move into some info, Tom?
No, I don't think so.
I know you're excited about the Packer game tonight, seeing Jordan Love play.
I am. I caught a little bit of last week's game, but I caught it on tape. And I very likely will. Well, I'll be able to see tonight's game because it is on NFL Network and it is part of a quadruple header, I believe, that starts at like 11:30, and then there's a 12 o'clock. It's almost like Thanksgiving Day or something like that. They've got games all day long. So at 3:30, I'm sitting my butt down and watching the game. So I think it's 3:30. I think it's 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 our time. Might be the other way around. Might be 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 our time. I'll check that here in a second. But anyway, either way, I'm going to be home all day. It's kind of a day off for me outside of this here. I'm not planning on doing anything except sit around and watch football and go through my office, clean some stuff. It's going to be a good day.
Good day.
Maybe pop in a frozen pizza, drink a little coffee.
I had a good week. Like I said, I could spend a lot of time whining and complaining about real estate appraisals this week, but honestly, I got out more. I got actually out twice this week in the kayak, which is kind of my decompressing thing to do. Get out and paddle around in the river and just enjoy the scenery. There were a ton, and by ton I mean probably 100 or more big birds in the air when I was out earlier this week. Went out a little earlier in the morning than I normally do, and I think they were turkey vultures.
Oh, wow. Because
they were a bigger black feathered bird with a scrawny, small reddish head. I think those are turkey vultures. There's probably another name for them. I don't know what they are, but dinner.
I don't know.
It was weird because as I was kind of paddling around, and all of a sudden I look up and I realize there's 10 or 12 of them in the trees. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That's because I saw one fly and kind of do a loop around and then land. And then I'm like seeing how there's like a dozen of them right there in front of me in these trees. And I look a little closer and there's way more than a dozen in these trees. And I look around a little more and there's so many up in the air in different areas around. It was like, there was like 100 or more of them. They were all over. And I'm like, what's going on?
For you to capsize, then they can come and vulture your body. I don't know.
Vulture, is that a word?
I don't know. I think I may have come up with a new one.
I don't know if anyone knows what these birds are. If they're not turkey vultures, I'm kind of curious because it was a little freaky. It was a little horror movie feeling.
Yeah, like an Alfred Hitchcock movie.
I hope they're not interested in dive bombing on me because I really didn't want that. That would be.
Yeah. Were you by yourself?
Yeah.
Wow.
Around.
I don't do anything by myself. That's crazy.
Quiet morning. Nice way to just normally
connect with nature, connect with God. I get it.
Yeah. Normally when I go out, it's just me, and I've got a life vest that I just throw in the kayak. I don't think it's required that you wear it. And I'm not sure if it is. Well, I'll throw it on, but it's there in the kayak with me, the kayak and the paddles in the river and whatever nature's around. This morning, I happened to though to take my phone. I put it in a Ziploc bag just in case. And I had a little Bluetooth earbud in because I wanted to listen to the radio. I was listening to the Michael Coolidge show. I don't like missing the Michael Coolidge show on weekday mornings at 9 on WROK.
Nice plug.
He's
a good show. Mike's a good guy.
He shares great information. And so that was, one of the things I don't like to miss. So I was listening to that as I was tooling around the river, and it did have that eerie feeling like a horror movie. And I was like, something bad is going what this just doesn't feel right. So I didn't stay out a whole lot that day, but love to tool around in my Sun Dolphin kayak in the river. It's a wonderful thing. So many things. I think Joann is standing by. If she wants to jump in at any time, she's definitely, of course, welcome to jump in. I'm going to go over a few things real quick from GoRockford.com. Share what's going on. There's Joann. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Joann. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Are you in Wisconsin?
I am in Wisconsin.
Hey, she's in Wisconsin. Well, glad you are a part of the show today. Look at me, I'm on TV.
Let me switch channels.
Yeah.
I always think it looks like a microwave, but that's just me.
It does. Like an old school microwave. Hey, as I mentioned, Little Shop of Horrors is at the Starlight Theater wrapping up their season. Today, there are shows at 2 and 8, 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. showtimes today. This is the only matinee showing of Little Shop of Horrors today at 2. So if you're one of those that doesn't like staying up late, you want to catch it today. Broadway, Hollywood, sci-fi smash musical Little Shop of Horrors. It's been devouring the hearts of theater goers for over 30 years. Meet Seymour as he stumbles across a new breed of plant that he names Audrey 2. He's got a crush on his coworker named Audrey, so he names the plant Audrey 2. There's a foul-mouthed dentist who kind of tries to ruin things. And, as long as he keeps feeding the plant blood, the plant's happy. Don't miss Little Shop of Horrors at 8 p.m. showtimes tonight. And then next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And it's done. Today, 2 and 8. Tomorrow at 8. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 8 p.m. And that'll wrap up.
Is this the second round?
This is this year's season. They did each show continuously instead of split it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're right.
I was going to say one right after another. I noticed that.
Yeah. Normal. And I think next season they'll probably go back to I don't know yet. After doing it this way, they might decide to keep doing it this way. We'll see what they decide after, when they, what do you call it? Debrief.
So I don't know, I kind of liked it when it was split due to vacations and stuff that you could, I don't know. I haven't seen any shows this year.
Well,
that's unusual for me.
The challenge is when you're doing shows.
My what is that Pinocchio likes the guy so much? Tom isn't picking up on that.
Oh, no, that's not me that does it. That's Eric. I'm a real boy. Greg Saunders is my favorite radio host.
Yeah. That one. Because my hero wasn't in any of the shows, so I didn't go to any shows this year.
Who's your hero? Eric?
Greg Saunders.
Oh, Greg Saunders. Okay.
No,
well, I thought you were talking about the Pinocchio guy.
Well, you always put that Pinocchio guy on.
Yeah, right. All right.
That's still stuck at the radio station. We've got to get it unstuck.
Why are you buttering Greg up? We don't get paid for
I'm
this.
not buttering him up.
Oh, it sounds like you're sucking up to him.
The truth.
Maybe there's a reason she won.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Hey, by the way, I had to pay for my breakfast this morning. Well, no, I still have to pay for my breakfast. I didn't. I had breakfast here. When are we going to Sherry's place or wherever?
You pay your
Or
wife
JJ's.
for breakfast?
No. I bought my breakfast yesterday. That was my leftover breakfast that I had this morning. It's too much. It's good.
We haven't set a date yet, but we obviously will be going out probably one of the week Saturdays in September. That will be our breakfast morning. Oh shoot, we had John on. I should have asked him again if JJ's was going to do breakfast anytime again soon. So
yeah, he's probably still listening.
Yeah,
he'll text you.
He'll text me. As I was saying about Starlight Theater, when they do these bigger shows with a lot of set pieces, the way they did it in years past, they had all these set pieces to change out, and it's a lot of work. It's a whole lot of work. So after doing what they did this year, they might decide, you know what, let's do each show 2 weeks and then move on to the next show, because it'll be a lot less stress on moving set pieces.
Yeah.
So, and doing it over 2 weeks still gives most people a chance to see each show, because I don't know how many people go on vacation for more than 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks, yeah, you're right.
Or if there are 5 shows, you might miss one of them because you're only taking one vacation. So,
right.
Still, either way,
we'll see what they decide to do. But Little Shop of Horrors wraps up this year's season. Catch it this weekend or next weekend, and then it is done. The Parks Kiwanis annual pork chop day is today. That's at the Loves Park VFW on Windsor Road in Loves Park. 11 to 5. It costs $7 at the door. It was $6 in advance if you were able to get your tickets in advance. But your pork chop meal includes a boneless pork chop sandwich, Old Salty's chips, applesauce, some bottled water. You can drive through or pick up. Tickets can be purchased in advance at Goff Heating and Air, Black Hawk Bank on Forest Hills, Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Those 3 locations had tickets, but they might not have them anymore. In fact, Blaine's doesn't have them anymore. Black Hawk might have them this morning. Goff Heating might have them this morning. Otherwise, it's $7 at the drive-through at the door. 2018 Windsor Road in Loves Park. The Loves Park VFW, their annual pork chop day is today. And Joann, have you heard anything about this? The Championship and Household Pet Show is at Mercy Health Sports Score 2 this weekend, put on by the JAB Cat Club. I've never heard of the JAB Cat Club. Are you familiar at all, Joann?
No.
I tried.
And you are the kitten lady. So if you don't know, then no one knows.
I tried Googling them to find out what it's all about, and I didn't see anything.
That's this weekend?
It's today and tomorrow, 9 to 4 at the Mercy Health Sports Score 2 on Riverside Boulevard over there by entrance fee for adults, seniors and child 13 and up is $4. Children age 6 to 12 is $3. Children under 5 are free. And the Championship and Household Cat Show. Beautiful cats are judged in 4 rings each day, beginning at 9 a.m. They complete around 4 p.m. The cat's not the only reason to come to the cat show. There are many vendors offering cat-related items. It's a fun time for all at the Championship and Household Pet Show at Sports Score 2. And I haven't heard any advertisement.
Where is Sports Score 2?
So,
it's out there on Riverside by just
the new
hospital. way out.
The Javon Bay Hospital, the new one?
No.
The great big new hospital at Riverside and the interstate. It's just a little bit further west from there.
Okay. Yeah, a little past that.
You can't miss
Costco.
it. The hospital's there, and then of course it used to be.
Where's Sports Score 1?
Right down here on Main by the old Bergners.
Oh, okay.
On the Rock River.
On the Rock, yeah.
Sports Score 1 floods pretty much every year.
So then we go to Sports Score 2.
Right. There's a lot of softball fields at Sports Score 1 and a few soccer fields. There's a lot of soccer fields over at Sports Score 2 and a lot of baseball diamonds as well. So But yeah, that Sports Score 2 used to be a big building, and now it's the super humongo big building. Right?
Yeah.
I still haven't been inside the super humongo big building yet, but
I haven't either. But you can play softball in there.
Yeah.
It's that tall, that high. I played softball on the diamonds out there. I don't like the fake turf. It's really hard on my knees.
Okay. All right.
And yeah, it's really rough stuff.
I did get a text from John. He said JJ's is looking at doing another breakfast in September. So we'll follow up with him on that. All right. So that takes care of a few of the things. Check out GoRockford.com. There's a lot of stuff going on this weekend and every weekend around the Rockford region. Before we get into our random stuff here, quick question for Tom and Joann. An estimated 2,000 people travel across the United States from sea to shining sea. In what way? An estimated 2,000 people every year travel fully across the U.S. each year. In what specific way? I'll give you the answer coming up. If you're a member of a book club, if anyone in your club listens to the audio version, do other members
doesn't count?
Do other members of your club make them feel guilty for cheating? Because they shouldn't do that. That's not nice. In fact, the University of Virginia psychologist Daniel Willingham, he's published a book on the science of reading, and he says that the mental processes that's involved, there is no real difference between listening to a book and reading the book. So according to him, audiobooks are not cheating. What's your take, Joann?
I did listen to one audiobook. I sometimes, when I travel, I will get an audiobook, but I think you have to listen more carefully. When you read and fall asleep, you don't miss anything. But when you fall asleep, not while you're driving, but when you're reading, I don't know, it's kind of silly.
You don't think you could pick up subconsciously the information while you're sleeping?
No, you could miss a whole bunch of the book. I thought I would listen one time with my, who do I have? My Alexa, I put her on to read a book. And I thought I would fall asleep, and it actually made me more wide awake because I was concentrating on what the book was. So I do think you have to concentrate when you're listening to the book too. Does that make any sense?
I spent a lot of time back in the day where I would listen to stuff at night to help me sleep. And then if I really liked the information, I would just listen to it again and listen to it again. I felt like I was getting something out of it. But I know what you're saying. According to this guy anyway, you're not cheating.
Well, it really depends on what type of a learner you are. If you're hands-on, if you're if you're visual, it depends on that. For me, I could not listen to a book on tape because I'm far too ADD. Once he says something weird, I'm off in a little tangent going, wow, I wonder if the moon is really made of cheese. I'm just, I'd be off in space. And then, oh, wait. Oh, back it up. It was my cassette tape.
I missed the whole page. Yeah. Rewind.
Rewind.
Hopefully this will make some people feel better, especially if you're a listening learner. It's not cheating to listen to the book rather than reading it. But yeah, if you're more of a tactile learner, if you're visual, then you probably should be reading.
I think the spirit of a book club, though, is that you actually have the physical book and you're, on page 12, when they were talking about this, you can't do that if you're, when I was listening to it at about 4:00, when I was at the stoplight, doesn't have the same appeal.
My trouble with the book club is people who didn't finish the book. And you'd be like so excited to discuss the book. And then 3 people would say, we had like 8 people in our book club. And 3 of the people would say, don't ruin it for me. Don't ruin it for me. And I'm like, you were supposed to read the book.
Yeah, I'm going to ruin it for you. You're going to ruin it for yourself if you show up here having not read the book.
But I wanted to discuss it. And then if they didn't read it, there's nothing to discuss.
That's rude.
Yeah,
that's really rude.
That's rude. That is rude. And you need to tell them that.
Spoiler
But they
alert,
still didn't read the
you
book.
joined the book club to discuss the book that you've read, and we're going to
Yes.
discuss it.
That's right.
And then there's I was in a book club where all we did was you couldn't talk about someone's boyfriend or anything. You had to study. No, we're talking about Jane Eyre here. We're not going to go to the right and left. So that was not fun either.
Yeah.
You know, with all due respect, I've never been involved in a book club, and I probably never will, but they just seem so stuffy. That's the big thing for me. I've seen enough TV shows where everybody in the book club is, well, my take on the book was that the main character, I just, whatever, so stuffy and just so not my speed. I'd rather just
what is that movie
watch
about
a Packer
the women
game.
who are, you had to put this down in the women who all read Shades of Grey.
Oh man, that's
I
called
forget
needing
what
a
the
hobby.
title of that movie is.
Oh,
it was a group of older ladies
50 Shades of Grey book?
No,
that
she's
all
talking
read
about
50 Shades of Grey in
the
their
Calendar
book club.
Girls.
What?
Are you thinking
Calendar Girls?
Calendar Girls?
I don't know. I can't remember what movie it was, but that's the book they read for their book club.
Well, the only book club I've ever been in was a self-improvement type book. So it was that you're supposed to talk about yourself and the things that, you got out of it and we're going to improve about yourself. So I've never been in a book club where we read a book on a fiction
to discuss.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Anyway, speaking of text and listening and reading, a study discovered up to 35% of us have had text conversation while still sleeping. The conversation, which is mostly gibberish, starts when our phones start beeping or buzzing, prompting our brains to go into autopilot and return a text. It's not always gibberish. The study did find that men usually text about food. Women tend to get romantic.
I don't get it. What do you mean text while you're sleeping? While you're sleeping, you go pick up the phone and you're going to text somebody while you're sleeping?
People responding to text messages basically like sleepwalking, only they're sleep texting.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'd have to see extensive studies on that. I don't think that's true at all because I've had texts at 2 a.m, like, hey, I can't make breakfast tomorrow, okay, boom, and I'm done. Now I go back to bed. I mean, if I'm assuming that's not what they're talking about.
I don't know. I think they're talking about like sleepwalking where you don't know what you're doing.
Wow.
You don't.
Okay, that's kind of scary.
Let's not text Tom in the middle of that night tonight.
No. Yeah.
That's rude too.
Hey, if you're crazy enough to wake up at 3 a.m., then you're on your own. When I see it says Joann, sorry.
He's not going to sex. He's not going to sex text me.
Are you wearing shoes? Speaking of
how
shoes,
about those Cubs?
The average woman owns 20 pairs of shoes, but only wears 5 of them. 90%
so she goes barefoot 2 days a week or what?
I don't know. 90% of women say they have a pair they've never, ever worn. They've never left the closet. Have you ever bought a pair?
Oh, I have one of those pairs.
Do you really? Okay. All right.
I didn't like them after I bought them.
And they stayed in the closet. Time to donate them, right? Just get rid of them.
They remind me of Cheap Trick. They're checked like Cheap Trick's guitar.
Oh.
So I bought them because of that, but they didn't fit right.
Oh. Well, time to donate.
You should have Rick Nielsen sign them and then sell them on eBay for $200.
Okay. I do have his signature. I do have his autograph.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
I believe
I met him at his museum.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Where's the museum?
He had it at the Discovery Center.
I remember that. Yeah.
And
About a year ago, year and a half ago.
I was stalking him. I was like, isn't that him? Isn't that him? And then someone said, yes, Joann, that's Rick. And then we got a picture.
What gave it away, Joann? What gave it away?
He looked like Rick Nielsen.
Oh, I thought maybe the hat looking like this.
But he was just, it was cool. It was one of my best memories.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
I think that was just at the museum for a time. I don't think it's a permanent exhibit.
Yeah, it was only there for like 8 months or 9 months, something like that.
Has the restraining order lifted yet?
Yeah, no, it's still in effect.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Joanne.
Ladies and gentlemen, making an appearance on the show today is Remy. Remy is my cat, named after the rat from Ratatouille.
Remy heard there was a cat show at Sports Score, and
he did. But unlike
And he wanted to go.
or just like us, he couldn't find anything on the internet.
For me. I could grab a cat, but I don't think my Sarah wants any of her cats adopted.
Might want to buy it a drink first.
Sorry, Remy. Sorry, Remy. No go.
Yeah, there's Remy. He's looking for food. He's already been fed. He's just looking for handouts.
Typical.
Knox.
Typical cat. All right, I was gonna change.
Tom is getting bored and bringing his cats onto this.
That's right.
Radio.
Knox. Hey, boy. Come here, boy.
Did
There
she
we
eat
go.
that?
There's my other puppy.
Yeah.
My puppy dog. He's a great dog. You're on TV. Look at that. That's you right there, buddy. All right, I'm sorry.
All right. Tried a little TV for a while. All right.
Yeah.
I think I own 9 or 10 pairs of shoes. There's like one.
Now
pair
that's really.
I wear pretty much the same 3 or 4 pairs of shoes over and over again. Okay, so here's our randoms and I got a lot of interesting stuff to share with you guys today. This is something else. Toys R Us is making a return. Have you heard about this? Up from the dead. Toys R Us sort of making a return anyway. They're planning to open 400 interactive shops inside Macy's stores starting next year. Macy's and Toys R Us are teaming up. I think Macy's is kind of starting to die, and I don't know that this is going to go very far, but we'll see. Boston's Skinny House. Did we talk about this last week? Boston's Skinny House. It's literally a 4-story house that's 10 feet wide.
Oh, we did. It wasn't last week, I don't think, but I remember talking about it.
It's on the market.
Didn't you show pictures of it?
Yeah, we did talk about this last week, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
That's on the market for $1.2 million. A rocket that launched out of Virginia is carrying 8.2 thousand pounds of gear to the International Space Station, including apples, tomatoes, kiwis, and a pizza kit. They're okay. Figure that one out. McDonald's, they've announced plans to add a donut to their menu this fall. And I want to show you the donut because
what their donut looks like.
I'm interested. I'm actually interested. Here's a picture of the donut. It's like a pull apart donut that you can share or not share.
Why would you share it?
Hitting menus. September 1st for a limited time. Coated in a sweet glaze, tears apart to make it shareable, similar to other bakery items, which includes an apple fritter, blueberry muffin, cinnamon roll. The donut would be available all day. I think it looks good. I may have to try that. I think I'll save this one for another time because that's a discussion waiting to happen. Let's see. This artist uses shadows to finish pieces of his art. And I got to show you this really cool video of what this guy does. Oh, I hope it works. I hope this works. Share screen. Here's the art piece, right? Playing with shadows. Watch what this guy does. How cool is that? Using shadows to finish his art pieces. Finishing the dog. The guy's hat and coat.
Excuse me.
I don't know what it is about shadows that I just think are really, really cool. And this guy is doing some really cool things. Playing with shadows.
So all I need is a fork and I can grow hair?
There you go.
Wow.
Put a picture of yourself down. And there you go.
It is kind of cool.
Anyway, there's one of those things you'll find on Reddit. Are either one of you fans? I know you're not fans of Star Wars, Tom.
No.
If I say Yoda's hut, Hogwarts, the Red Keep, or the Dome in the Truman Show,
What you are behind?
does that mean anything to any of you? There's a video that compares the sizes of these buildings to other things. And I don't, this video might be too long to really share. I might not go through the whole thing, but he compares the sizes of these things, like the Krusty Krab, height 0.5 meters. On Street.
Oh, sorry. Okay, quiet down.
That's not the shelter.
Yoda's hut compared to the Evergreen Terrace in The Simpsons. The Swamp House in Shrek. Oh, how fun is that? Carl Fredrickson's house. Who's Carl Fredrickson? Oh, from Up.
Oh, from Up. Yeah.
All these comparisons to the size of these buildings in these movies and shows to get an idea of how big they might be. And he just keeps on going. Cinderella's castle. Oh, look at that. Compare it to the Statue of Liberty. There's Hogwarts compared to the Statue of Liberty. This must have taken him forever to get this to scale. Monument.
It might be CGI, probably. I mean,
yeah, just the idea of putting this together so you can get an idea of how big these things are compared to things that you're familiar with. Duloc Castle from Shrek. It's awesome. The Red Keep from Game of Thrones. Duloc's castle is basically bigger. Well, same size. Sultan's Palace in Aladdin. Wayne Tower from Batman, The Dark Knight. Speak up a little bit. The Pyramid of Marine from Game of Thrones. The High Tower from Game of Thrones. Let's throw in the in Paris, the Eiffel Tower, just to give you that. Minecraft tallest building.
So basically, SpongeBob's pineapple is about half the size of the Eiffel Tower.
He's so tiny. He's so tiny. Let's skip ahead here to see some bigger stuff.
Transamerica Building.
Peachtree. Judge Dredd. I'm going to skip ahead and see what the biggest thing. The Senate building from Star Wars. Okay, now we're talking. Space elevator from Halo. International Space Elevator. These are games and stuff I'm not familiar with at all. Where do we go from here? How up to space? Whoa.
What is this?
Corin Tower from Dragon Ball, 8,000 meters in height. That's weird. Blade Runner. And is this the Truman Show? No, this is the dome, under the dome. Here we go. There's the dome from the Truman Show. That's what I wanted to see. Just how big that thing is compared to other things. Okay. I thought it would be bigger. I thought it would actually be a lot bigger.
Yeah. Looks like the Superdome or the Georgia Dome or something.
I don't know. So there's some interesting things there. I guess we'll share the rest another time, because if you watch the beginning of the show today, we were showing an endless artwork called Quilt. What was it called? Zoom Quilt. Zoomquilt.org. If you missed the beginning of the show, you might.
How did I miss that?
It's at the very, very beginning. We were playing this before the show started today. Zoomquilt.org. Yeah, something that Joann would be interested in. There's a few options on this screen. If this kind of stuff kind of freaks you out, there's an actual, like a quilt pattern you can look at, like this. And it just keeps going. So you need to get a little trippy. You want to zone out and do nothing for a while. This doesn't stop. It just keeps going and going. Infinite Zoom. This one happens to be on infinitezoom.net. So, all right, we're gonna.
Yeah, you could watch that before you went to sleep and zoom out.
Yeah.
It'll just
Good one.
It'll just take you away and you'll be gone. All right. I think that's we'll wrap it up there.
We had a question you were supposed to ask us.
So the question is,
yes.
And we got the big number too.
Estimated 2,000 people travel across the US every year. In what way? You got a guess on that?
Motorcycles.
Motorcycles?
I was going to say bicycle.
You were going to say bicycle, and
yeah.
The answer is bicycles.
Okay. Give me an extra point.
You get a bonus point. A bonus point. Yeah, the bicycle, the estimated 2,000 people every year travel from coast to coast the U.S. on a bicycle. Wow. What is the miles across the U.S.? I forget.
It was like 6,000 or something.
Isn't it 2,000 something?
Oh gosh, no, it's 1,800. Just like to Montana or something like that. From here to LA, I want to say is like 2,800, and from here to Florida is like 2,400. So that's about 52 right there. So depending on which extreme you go to, you could go from from Florida to Washington, and you're up in the close to 6,000s, probably like 5,500.
Okay,
maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
From the Atlantic coast at New York City to the Pacific coast at San Francisco, is around 2,900 miles.
That's because Tom walks it.
Yeah.
So basically about 3,000 miles, depending on, of course, where you're going coast to coast. But hello.
But if you go from like Florida to Washington, that's a little bit further.
That's a little bit further. That's a lot further. Okay, so let's get our big number of the week and wrap up this show.
Alrighty.
Big number of the week this week is 21.6 billion with a B. 21.6 billion.
Are we starting a new?
We're starting.
Are you letting Tom catch up?
All new. All new.
All new. You won the last one.
The page is bare.
Blank page. All right.
0. So John's still listening. He's guessing. He's got his guess in too.
He wants a free breakfast.
That's right. Counterfeit or compact disc is the answer this week. Counterfeit or compact disc. Give me your answer in 3, 2, 1.
Counterfeit.
Okay. All right. We'll just put the cap back on the pen.
I was right.
Last year, Amazon destroyed 2 million counterfeit products, over 2 million counterfeit products, and spent over $700 million fighting the counterfeit problem with products. By the way, Amazon officially has passed Walmart as the biggest retailer outside of China. They posted a $610 billion revenue over the past year. But yeah, counterfeit products have been a problem on Amazon pretty much since nearly day one. As soon as things got a little crazy, and they're battling that, and they've done it by destroying a bunch of these products. So no counterfeit products on Amazon. That's a no-no. You've got to be legit. We all know that the internet completely wrecked the music industry's CD compact disc model. But the rise of streaming also helped push the industry's revenue to $21.6 billion last year. That's the highest take in the music industry since the year 2002. So wow. There was a disruption in their model, of course, but they've since kind of figured it out. They're making money, and don't cry for these artists. A lot of them are doing okay.
Well, they make a lot of money with their concerts and sales of T-shirts and everything else, marketing.
Well, the new model is selling singles more than albums. I mean, people are still buying albums, but being able to download a single at 99 cents or $1.29 per song, that's still a viable business model, and it's happening. So, anywho, INCROWD this Thursday at Duraclean in Belvedere. Hope to see folks there for that. And yeah, that's going to wrap up our show for this week. Any other final thoughts?
Yes, from Bad Dad Joke Bill. What do you call a priest who is also a lawyer? A father-in-law.
Oh, hey.
Hey, but thank you. I'm here all week. That was from Bill. Bad Dad Joke Bill.
Thank you, Bill. Remember, you change the world when you help one person. Be a blessing to someone this week. We'll try to do the same. Meet you back here for another Saturday morning Stateline show.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day, man. See you, Tom.